Camera Basic Tease here, and today I'm going to do a video makeover of a binding triangle top. And I can hear it in the background. Applause! It's my last makeover video. So let's take a look. Digital sewing patterns at basictease.com. So we're going to do the inside of the triangle top and secure some binding. First off, I usually use a serger stitch on the bottom because it makes it look more finished. When you're done with that serger stitch, you're just going to attach these binding pieces. I usually make them a little bit smaller because I like that little pucker. So on all my patterns, if I add binding or piping, I overlap a 1/2 inch. So I've secured it under the pressure foot, and now I'm going to make that 1/2 inch on the other side, and I'm going to pull on it. So there's that little pucker I was talking about, and we're going to secure this together by folding it over like this and creating binding. Let me do the other one. So make sure that they're inside. And now we're ready to go over to the cover stitch machine, or you could also use a zigzag machine. So I fed that binding in a little bit into my cover stitch machine. So if you want to watch, I just folded in a little bit, put it on the edge of where I stay stitched it with the serger stitch, and I'm going to wrap it around. And I stretch it a little bit as I sew it. So let's do the other side. So we're going to fold it in over like that. Make sure it's real tight to this fabric. I'm going to stick it under here. Wrap it around. Real tight. Kind of push this in a little bit. So I've pinned the string that ties around your neck. This is a little bit short because I'm just doing this to show it to you. I'm not going to actually sell this. I pin it a little bit short. So let's say this edge was 7 inches. I am going to pin the inside here 6 inches because that's what the stretch was in the center. So if it's 7 inches, you got a 1/2 inch on both sides. There's 6 inches in the middle. I'm doing the same on the other side, and I pinned it on both of them. You never want to run over pins because they will ruin the knife on your serger. So hold on to it, keep it in place. This serger stitch is just a stay stitch. We'll do the other side, pull on it just a little bit to make it even. And those are done. So now we're going to secure both sides with a cover stitch or a zigzag stitch. And you also are going to want to have another piece of binding or piping that's at least 1 yard long to go under the bust line that you're going to string through the bottom of here. I do have other tutorials that talk about making piping or binding, so I'm not going to sew that in this video. We're going to wrap the outer binding the exact same way as we did the inner binding in the triangle top. I usually hold on to like bigger and heavier spots. So there's like extra here. So that's usually the spot I hold on to. I wrap it around with my finger, make sure it's nice and secure. And you're going to go all the way through to the end, and then you're going to go to the other side, and you're going to start at the top of your neck string and go all the way down. So there's your 2 triangle tops. I'm going to go to the straight stitch machine, and I am going to sew a loop at the lower edge for you to put a string. You're going to take the bottom edge of your triangle top and you're going to fold it over about a 1/2 inch. How far you fold this over is going to have a lot to do with how wide the bottom tie is. So just set it under the pressure foot, make sure the needle's up, go back and forth to secure it. And then I usually kind of stick my finger inside there to make the curve go correctly. So I've secured that all the way through, and then we're going to put the string turner across the bottom and pull a string through. So when you add that under the bust string, you're going to want to make sure before you pull it through that the insides are inside. This goes around the neck because there's many a times that I've mixed it up. It doesn't look as nice. So use your loop turner, go under the bust on both sides. And then you're just going to take your string that's at least a yard long. This is too short, but I'm just showing you guys. Do the little hook and pull it all the way through. Sometimes that hook gets caught on other things. So pull it all the way through. And there's your triangle top. I hope you found this better video educational. Thank you for watching. If you like what I'm dishing out, go ahead and subscribe. You can check me out at basictease.com where I sell my sexy sewing patterns. You can also